Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another small exploration rover that's great for doing some light reconnaissance missions to make sure the general area is nice and safe before we bring over your big defensive rover and we'll set up base. We've got a turret on top for a bit of defense, we've got a unique start and stop system which you can press to turn off all the important stuff on this vehicle and then start it up, and it even comes with something very unique to this one vehicle, and that's data pads that tell you everything going on about this vehicle. So coming into here, hiding all that, and here they are. One of these is going to tell you your toolbar, exactly what's going on, so you don't have to tap out and look at the Steam Workshop page, or even just go one by one through the toolbar on the G menu to see what they are. It's just all listed on this one data pad, which is jolly good stuff. Then on the second one, it's going to be your special systems, where as you can see we've got a stop system and a start system, where these systems are going to turn off all of your systems, and then set them to recharge, whereas the start will of course turn off the recharge and turn everything on to make sure it's all ready to go, as well as start up your programmable blocks. Yes, they're just sitting in the inventory in the cockpit for you to go and read through at your leisure. Now I'm going to put the character like this, come over to here, move all the way up. Yes, this thing is called the GR-7112 Wallaroo, which I almost forgot to say. And like I said, it's an exploration rover. We've got an ore detector on here, a turret on top. We've got a couple of scripts on here, such as a radar script, your integrity, so you can see if any blocks are damaged on this thing, as well as your automatic LCD screen telling you all the important stuff, such as your cargo, your ammunition, your power used, and all of that. Yes, press the F10, find it in spawn menu, there it is. This thing is 183 small blocks, using a couple of the DLC packs. We see up here nice bit of information about it, such as it's a light utility vehicle, specifically designed for scouting and reconnaissance, it's got excellent mobility, it's got good protection, and it's got a good amount of hours on its battery. All the way down to here is its specifications. Down at the very bottom is its scripts used. So there we are, the automatic LCD screen and the turret-based radar scripts. And it is also survival ready, which is jolly good stuff. So giving this thing a thumbs up, we're going to move around towards the very front, have a quick look around the outside, go through the controls, drive around for a bit, then I believe that is that. There should be some space turrets nearby, although we might not actually go and do that in this video. So for the very front of the GR-7112 Wallaroo, this is what we get. But right in the very middle, what we've got is our flush cockpit to drive it around. Then below that, we've got our creamy, dusty steel blocks to make up the main bulk of this vehicle, other than a bit of black here and there, adding as our armored panels, which are sort of like our mud guards. On the front of them, we then got some neon tubes in white colouring. Then above there, we then got our floodlights to light up the area. This section you see right here, just protruding out the front, is going to be an extra set of LCD screens connected up by some neon tubes. They come all the way across to our top-mounted camera, where if you were to sit and look at it like so, there we are, so we can see our damaged blocks. Then onto this side, we then see if our turret is on or off, and our cargo used. So there is that. It's actually quite a neat way of hiding more LCD screens. A lot of people tend to go for the transparent LCD screens and just prop them up on the front or maybe on the side of the cockpit, but having them just sticking above and hanging down is a good way to get around that. Towards the bottom here, we see our wheel suspensions. There's not too much to talk about with that. Then onto the side, there we have our black armoured panels. Onto this section, it's going to be largely the same as the opposite side. We've got a programmable block. This side's going to have our radar script. Then on the screen below it, we'll see if any blocks are damaged. Onto this section is your button panel. That's largely going to be to control the hinge at the back, to attach on a trailer, and of course to detach it. And of course, if you really wanted to, attach it onto a base to actually recharge this thing up and to, well, refill up your batteries by using your reactors. To the opposite side very quickly, all the way around, there we go, and there we are, there's our automatic LCD screen script, telling us our batteries, our reactors, our cargo, our turret on and off once again, our antenna and ore detector, as well as down there, our blocks damaged as well. The button panel is identical, so it doesn't matter which side of the vehicle you come onto to actually play around with that. And suppose I should actually mention the final button on that, because one is detached for the trailer, the other one's going to be to turn on and off the turret on the top. Anyway, yes, over this section we've got some fantastic use for our truss block just going along the bottom there for an extra bit of decoration. Then at the very bottom we've got some blast edge blocks just to help out if you take any kind of dodgy jumps. Pushing all the way past this, here we are. Not really too much to talk about there, but we can see our battery on that section. Into this section, what do we have? Outside the back of the cockpit. Can't really make out too much going on there, but it does work for the nice decoration just seeing through the truss block. Anyways, up there's your medical cabinet to open up and grab stuff in and out. Nothing in there by default, so you will have to load it up yourself. And towards the back here, we've then got some cargo containers for you to store a few bits and bobs inside, as well as some more neon tubes in red colouring, acting as your brake lights, with two more interior lights also acting as your brake lights. Yes, there's your cargo container for the opposite side. Down to here's your hinge setup to attach onto a trailer, and of course onto a base, like I said, to recharge this thing. That's also more wheel suspensions. Moving all the way up, there's your turret, being partially covered by some arm panels on each side, just to help it out if it does take a few shots here and there. Moving all the way up and looking down, all detector, antenna, there's your top mount camera, your neo tubes once again coming across to the front with your LCD screens. Then moving all the way down underneath it, minding all the grass here. And well, that is that. Not too much to talk about. We see our blast edge blocks on the opposite side, a bunch of grey steel blocks, a bunch of grey armoured panels, but we also see our wheel suspensions partially clipped through some steel blocks. And with that, I believe that is a brief look around the outside of the GR-7112 Wallaroo. It looks bloody fantastic how it's been set up. I suppose what I would do, yes, I did get on this side. So before we actually go and look through the controls, drive around, here we are on this side, so bump panels, programmable block like we just saw. But on this side, instead of having a medical cabinet, we've got ourselves a weapon locker, air vent, suck auction, refill up your tanks, then go to your 2 cargo containers like the opposite side. But yes, as I was saying, it's a fantastic looking vehicle. Some great ideas have gone into this, especially with the neon tubes coming across to the LCD screen. Now that works very, very well for extra screens around your cockpits, and with how it's been set up, with how compact it is, should do very well in survival mode. So grabbing hold of my characters, now time to come all the way up to this. What I can do now is just come up to this, hide all of that, we don't need to see any of them. There we go. Yes, we see our attach, got our detach, got them in the wrong order, but you get what I mean. Then we've got a turret on and off, which is up there. In the weapon locker, nothing going on, but I can store my gun and ammunition inside. And yes, that's that for the outside on foot. Hopping into this first person view, this is all we can see. So we can just about make out what's going on with our cargo containers, of course our turrets, and of course the damage blocks on the opposite side. Looking down here, we've got a radar script, we see our reactors, batteries, battery power remaining, and of course our antenna and ore detector. Nothing much else. So now time for the third person view and actually go through the controls. So it's very simple with this thing, but we do have some sneaky controls on tab number 9 for whatever reason. But yes, number 1's going to be for your turret to turn it on and off, then number 2 for manual control over it. So there we are, take that starting base. Let me just go put it back to how it was. Number 3, number 4 is for the hinge at the back to attach and detach, but of course I can't showcase that. Number 6 is then for your ore detector, 7 for your reactor, 8 is for your batteries to auto recharge, then number 9 is for your antenna on and off. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 got nothing else, but then we come over to tab number 9. On here we've got reactors on and off, we've got a top mount camera to actually view straight through it, and then we've got 2 controls, number 2 and number 9. Number 2 is going to turn on the vehicle, which is going to do exactly what that data pad told us at the very start. And well, likewise, number 9 is going to turn off everything and put you into a recharge mode. Final one is to turn on and off your automatic LCD screen script in the middle, so for whatever reason something goes wrong with that, you just toggle it on and off as you please. As for that, that is it for the controls, so all we've got to do now is drive around and see how the braking system kicks in. So going like so, driving all the way up, when we go above 20 meters per second, the front wheel brake should turn off to prevent blipping. Now I did get a mistake with that at the very start, there was an automatic braking system, but no, when we go above 20, slamming on the brakes, we can see our front wheels will not try and brake to stop you from flipping head first. So doing it again, I'm going to leave the camera like so. We are now at 30, trying to get up to its maximum speed, which is roughly about 45, slamming on the brakes. And there we are, only the wheels at the back will kick in their brakes, the front ones will just slide along there with the brakes disabled to stop you from flipping over. Yes, going like so, first person view, driving around here we go, up to maximum speed, lifting up the camera a little bit so you can actually see the speedometer. And there we are, we're now approaching our maximum speed, can't really go above 45 unless we were to remove it in the control panel. But that's about it, we now drive around here, start shooting if we want to. And just a nice, quick and nimble and easy to use vehicle, which does have one fatal flaw. Yes, one fatal flaw indeed, and that is that it doesn't have a gyroscope on here. So you will want to actually attach one of them onto this vehicle if you want to have safe jumping. Otherwise you could end up on your roof, could end up just rolling down the mountainside, being unable to, well, stabilize the vehicle and limit the damage this thing can take. It's going to be very easy to destroy the turret on top, so you may want to shove one on here. Not too sure where you could actually put it, apart from maybe at the back there, removing one of the containers, attaching on gyroscope instead. How could we do that right now? So hopping out of here, onto the back, getting rid of that. There we are, and I think I would just go and shove it onto that section. That should do quite nicely. And now we've got gyroscope controls on this thing, and we can now wiggle it with the mouse. We now realign this thing, so doing a jump, all the way up, and there we are, that's a lot better. We now control this thing, actually make sure it's all fully aligned. Coming into here and actually double checking that to make sure I didn't miss a gyroscope on here. No, there is not. Now we're just going to drive out over the space pirates, which should be somewhere in that direction right there. and then we'll just go and finish the video off with that. I'm not sure how well that'll go up against this base, because it does have a rocket launcher turret on the back, but there's a single gatling turret on the front, which should be fairly good against, unless it does get a drop on me. Come into here and actually find the turret once again. Make sure it's on its maximum range. There we go. That's a little bit better. The turret is active, should be idling around. And I do want to actually see where I'm going here. Back into a first-person view driving around. It does feel quite wobbly when driving around at 45 meters per second, even on a flat surface. For whatever reason, it really wants to pull across to the left. I'm not sure what's going on that, whether it's just the ground I'm driving on. But no, it seems to be very good at actually driving around, very speedy, and, like I said, very safe. And here we go, I've now started to engage it, or at least they've engaged me. There we go, I've now started to return fire. Hopefully we can disable their turret before they disable me. I'm not too sure it's going to go too well, because we are a small block versus a large block grid. They've got lots and lots of guns on them, just going to keep circling around. Hopefully the cockpit won't be shot out, but it looks like they are going for the cockpit. So now we're going to go back down the mountainside. The turret is now disabled. That was completely expected when trying to approach this base. So all I'm going to do now is get ejected out of the car and just fly off into the distance. And probably be hit by the rocket launcher. Oh god, there goes the car down there, then I'll be pummeled into the back. And then down the mountainside it goes, or down the cliff edge it goes, all the way down. We're just going to follow it with the auto dampeners, all the way down to the bottom. But no, as it stands, it is a fantastic looking vehicle. It's got some great utility with it, great for survival mode, and great for scouting out locations to potentially go and set up a base in. So be linked to the description below if you should play around yourself. Highly recommend you do, because it is a lot of fun to play around with. And I'll be back with another video sometime soon. Bye bye.